Hi, my friends. This is Molly Shaw with Professor B Math. How did you learn your multiplication facts? Did you drill those flashcards? Did you do speed tests with 100 facts on each page over and over and over again, each week adding the new fact family, trying to get enough practice? Did you do like a computer game where you had to answer all the facts correctly to move your guy along? These are one way to learn multiplication facts. But rote memorization is not the best way for meaningful recall or quick recall. And it certainly doesn't lay the foundation for learning additional math out of that skill. I am excited today for Dr. Barrett to introduce to you the strategy that he uses to introduce multiplication facts to students. He uses a multiple sensory approach, auditory, visual, and kinesthetic, in order for the kids to make sense of their math facts and remember them amazingly well, much, much better than rote. So today I am excited to introduce to you Dr. Barrett, and I think his son Eric is in this clip too. This clip is from the Pathways Teacher Training, which is available in our store also if you would like to see more of him introducing the strategies in this book. This skill is introduced at the beginning of the Level 2 book. Very first lesson in this particular set. So stay tuned and enjoy.
In this section, I will introduce you to our unique strategies for very rapid mastery of the multiplication facts and for their retention as well. Mastery once attained must be sustained. Let's say that we're going to teach the 3 times table to any number of learners from 1 to 30. For this lesson, you should bring 10 bundles of pencils with 3 pencils in each bundle. Here they are. This is our display. As I said before, we can count numbers, so we can count 3s. Here are 3 pencils in this bundle, and every bundle has 3 pencils. So we can count 3s like this: 1 3, 2 3s, 3 3s, 4 3s, and so on up to 10 3s. Next, you would hold up your 10 fingers like this and tell your learners to pretend that this finger is that first bundle of 3. The next finger is the second bundle of 3. The third finger is the third bundle of 3, and so on up to the 10th finger is the 10th bundle of 3. At this point, I will have my assistant and son Eric help me to demonstrate. Eric, say 3.
3.
Now, 3 and 3 more equals?
6.
Now, as I keep flicking the fingers, say the proper numbers quickly.
3. 6. 3. 6.
6 and 3 more equals?
9. 6. 9. 3. 9. 6. 9.
Before bringing up the 4th finger, be sure that learners are very confident in their responses to 3 fingers. Then you say 9 and 3 more equals?
12. 6. 12. 9. 12. 3. 9. 12.
Before bringing up the 5th finger, be sure the learners are very confident in their responses to 4 fingers. Let's keep going, Eric. That's how much?
12.
12 and 3 more?
15. 12. 15. 9. 3. 15.
15 and 3 more are?
18. 15. 18. 9. 3. 15. 12. 18.
Very good, Eric. And we continue similarly up to the 10th finger, at which point Eric would have said?
30.
Now, of course, you must do all those fingers in between, and you must wait for mastery with each set of fingers before you bring up the next finger, remember? Now, that was phase 1, which ends at 30. 2 goes like this. Eric? 4 threes.
12.
7 threes.
21.
2 threes.
6.
9 threes.
27.
And so on. Of course, you'd give more practice than that because you want to continue in phase 2 to the point where the children have mastery. Notice again the difference between phase 2 and phase 3. Phase 3 goes like this. You are now taking away your fingers for phase 3, and you're only asking questions, the same questions as in phase 2. So watch. 4 threes.
12.
8 threes.
24.
2 threes.
6.
And again, you continue to do this to mastery. The whole exercise may take about 15 to 30 minutes. And at the end of that time, your child will have learned the 3 times table. It would be wise for you to sort of repeat this same lesson for the next 2 days or so to strengthen it. The learners are now responding rapidly and accurately to the 3 times multiplication facts without fingers at this point. Now, although there was a lot of repetition, this was not a rote exercise or experience. Rote is repetition without meaning. This was so full of meaning that without any more teaching, your learners will also know the associated division facts. I mean, the division facts relate to the 3 times table. Watch and see how this is done. Eric, how many times did you see 3 in 12?
4 times.
And how many times did you see 3 in 21?
7 times.
And how many 3s in 27?
9.
And how many 3s in 15?
5.
And so you see, you get the associated division facts free of charge. See? In other words, this was so meaningful that you did not need to do any more work to get the division facts. Clearly, if this was a rote experience, this could not happen. Now, this is a method you will use to teach any multiplication table. For example, if you were teaching the 4 times table, then you would start with bundles of 4, and each finger would be a bundle of 4. Now, let me explain maintenance of the times tables chart, using the times tables chart. And I will get my pointer and demonstrate maintenance. Let's say that you have used this method to teach the 2 times table. In other words, in that case, each finger would represent 2 pencils. Having done that, just the 2 times table, you would go to the times table chart. Now, there is a small version of this in the chart book. And at this chart, you would mark off the first 2 columns, put a line here marking off the first 2 columns, and a line here marking off the first 2 rows. And you would tap rapidly within the first 2 columns and the first 2 rows, and your children would respond rapidly. You see? Try to get them to the speed of responding whereby you get 30 responses in 1 minute. See? Then now, when you've mastered the 2 times table and you go to the 3 times table, you would then, having taught the 3 times table using this method we demonstrated, you would then draw a vertical line here marking off the first 3 columns and the first 3 rows, and then you would tap rapidly in there up to the speed of 30 responses per minute. It won't happen immediately, but you can build the child up to that speed. Now I have many surprises for you. Having taught the 3 times table and reinforced it over 2 to 3 days, tell your learners to pretend that each of your fingers is a toy and that a sticker price of $3 is on each finger. Be very demonstrative. Point to each fingertip like this and tell your learners to pretend that a sticker is on each finger showing $3 so that every finger has a little sticker on it saying $3. So the fingers are toys and each toy costs $3. Now, without showing any fingers, ask many questions such as these, and I will have Eric assist me here. Eric, if each finger is a toy with a sticker price of $3, then how much money would you pay me for 6 toys?
$18.
And how much money would you pay me for 8 toys?
$24.
And you continue that to mastery. Now, your learners will master these problems very quickly. Then, having mastered those kinds of problems, you ask this kind of question. Now, Eric, if you have $21, how many toys can you buy?
7
7
toys.
Yes. And if you have $27, how many toys can you buy?
9 toys.
And if you have $6, how many toys can you buy?
2 toys.
Yes. Okay. And similarly, your child will respond accurately and instantly. Now, the next set of questions you ask will be a bit challenging. At first, they'll be challenging, but not for long. Examples of these questions are, okay, how many toys could you buy for $16?
5 toys.
Oh, very good. And would you have any money left over?
Yes.
How much?
$1.
And how many toys could you buy for, let's see now, $23?
7 toys.
And would you have any money left over?
Yes.
How much?
$2.
Okay, very good. So, after having worked on those, after your child has mastered those types of problems, over the next 2 lessons, you tell them the following. Anybody who knows the cost of 6 toys should know the cost of 60 toys. And now let me tell you where the secret is. The secret is with the zeros. Now, what is the cost of 6 toys, Eric? Just 6 toys.
$18.
And so 60 has an extra 0, right?
Right.
So what's the cost of 60 toys?
$180.
Oh, I couldn't catch it. All right, and if you know the cost of 7 toys, you should know the cost of 70 toys. What is the cost of 70 toys?
$210.
And what is the cost of 30 toys?
$90.
Oh boy, I can't catch him. Well, maybe I can catch him with these. If you know the cost of 6 toys, you should know the cost of 600 toys. The secret is what?
In the zeros.
How many zeros now?
2.
Oh, very good. So what is the cost of 600 toys then?
$1,800.
And what is the cost of 900 toys?
$2,700.
Okay, very good, Eric. Practice this to mastery. Every phase of this that I went through with Eric. And practice that before you go to the next connection. Mastery here will lead to mastery there.
Well, you got to see Dr. Barrett introduce the multiplication fact strategy from our program. What did you think? I would love to hear from you. When I first met Dr. Barrett, I only met him once in person. I was walking down a convention exhibit hall, and he had a booth with some chairs kind of out in the aisle with 4 or 5 homeschool mothers sitting in those chairs, and he was teaching them the multiples of 17s. So he was going 17, 34, 51 with these moms and teaching them their 17s facts. I was like, what in the world is he doing? I was standing kind of behind, 10 feet away, observing, because there's a lot of people around. And the more I watched him, and I loved the rhythm and the pacing and his enthusiasm and how he interacted with these moms. And they were intimidated by this big number, by trying to learn their 17s. And yet he reassured them and supported them and helped them so they never made a mistake that wasn't just funny and try again and start over. And I understood a whole different attitude for how to even approach teaching math, as well as this amazing strategy. This was the first time I ever experienced his program, was that day. And again, I bought the program. I began to experiment with my own children at home. I found it so much more effective than the other programs that I had been using. And so I was kind of hooked. 30 years later, I still promote this program and encourage anyone, especially if a program isn't working for you. Either it's too slow, it's too boring, it's too fast, your child hates math. Try this, because you're gonna be amazed at how much better it works. You can contact me. If you go to profb.com, if you have a question about this program, or you wanna ask me something, I would love to hear from you. I'll give you a call back or an email back, and we can begin to chat about your family and your kids, your classroom, your students, whatever setting you're in. And as an experienced classroom teacher, as well as homeschool parent, I would love to support you. You can also join our community page. We have a Facebook community page for everyone that uses Professor B, and there's some expert moms on there who will come alongside you and support you as well. So check us out at profb.com. That's part of a larger web page called trinityharboreducation.com, and I would love to hear from you. So I'll see you next time.
How much is 100 books? And you're going to have them right to the side. 100 books times $4 per book is $400. Do we have $400 in our hundreds place? We don't. We can't buy 100 books. So optional, if you want, you can put a little X to hold that place.